name of my company is Image Design. I'm Sharon Kornstein and I own Image Design. I do personal shopping, wardrobe consulting, closet editing, and I work with women in their 50s and 60s to help them look their best and feel as if they have a workable wardrobe and it's easy to create outfits from what they own. This is the fifth in my Stunning Style webinar series. They are the third Thursday of the month at 12 noon. Next month on the April 21st, I'll be talking about spring trends. And the following month in May, I had a request to do date night, since I often talk about everyday clothes or work clothes, but I want to talk about what women wear on date nights, especially as the weather's getting nicer in the spring. The idea for scarves came to me because when I was home in New Jersey, I have a whole drawer that's filled with them and it's very organized. And I said, wow, I really, really need to get back to wearing scarves again because they are so pretty. It's a great way to add color or style to your outfit. And that's what gave me the idea for the scarf tying session today. And I want to talk to you about different ways to use the scarves that you have and to tie them in different ways, what they can go with, how to add jewelry, because someone mentioned earlier on that they don't wear their scarves anymore because it interferes with the jewelry. If you have a black or brown or gray coat, it's a great way to add color to your outerwear. Indoors, it's a really good way to add a style because we talk about fashion styles and you may or may not be 100% clear on what your fashion style is. We can all throw on a black shirt and a pair of black pants or jeans, but adding a scarf in a certain fashion style is a great way to really quickly add some style and pizzazz to your outfit. Color is another reason to add a scarf. I mean, this is pretty obvious, but I want to talk about why it's a good focal point. And let me just grab one to show you an example here. You see me wearing the black now. Look at the difference when I add a and this is not even a super bright scarf, but it's a blue and black polka dot scarf. It adds a focal point right around your neck, which encourages people to look up to your face, which is where you want them to be looking, especially, first of all, if you're on Zoom, if you're meeting in person, maybe you're sitting down for most of the meeting and people can only see the top half of your body, especially in business, but even in personal and social interactions. You want people to be focusing on your face, and the scarf does add that brightness and that contrast to the top half of your body and encourages those to look up at your face. So as far as the scarves themselves, they all have their own distinguishing characteristics. The first one I want to mention is fabric, because they all have different feels to them. Some of them are, this one that I just grabbed is like a very lightweight rayon. These are going to be a little bit heavier. You want to wear these more in the winter and the fall. You're going to have some, like this one here is a very, very light chiffon. I mean, you can see that it's pretty sheer. It's light and fluffy. These are going to be more for the spring and the summer. Most of the scarves that I own, anyhow, are the flat silk, which is the most versatile of the different fabrics. And the other options could be cotton or linen, which are obviously more summer fabrics. So the way that I structure this session is that I'm going to do the seasons. I got a little bit inspired by our last session, which was on color, when I talked about seasonal color analysis and got into more depth on that. But I'm just going to go through the different seasons, what you might want to wear as far as your scarves and how you could tie them. So we're going to start with winter because that's where we are now. The first one that I have here is an oblong, medium-shaped oblong scarf. It has a little bit of fringe on the end. The way I would wear this one, you can start off with a simple loop. This is about the easiest way to do your scarf. You fold it in half, hold the loop in one hand, put it around you, and then simply bring the other two pieces through. It keeps it in place. It's a nice way to be lying on your, on your chest. just a simple loop. And this works best with an oblong scarf. Another thing you can do with an oblong scarf is called the pretzel. So you start off the same way. You hold the end in your right hand, or whichever is your dominant hand, hold that, put it around you, and then rather than putting both ends through, you want to just take one end, pull it through. You don't have to pull it real tight. You're going to take the other end, put it around the top, and then pull it through in the back. And if you can see, it forms like a pretzel. What I would do with this one, since it's large, is first of all, fold it maybe about 8 times, do like accordion pleats. We can put it around, yeah, you can see. So if you're going to do the simple loop, you would just pull both pieces through. It lies simply like that on her neck. Or you could do the pretzel style. Pull one piece through, and then take the other piece and put it around the top, and then pull it. You can maybe see better with this fabric. You see how it's like woven a little bit together? And this is nice if you, first of all, it's really nice to wear under a coat or a blazer. As far as fashion styles, this is another one that I would suggest for the winter. This is a very traditional classic houndstooth. It's very sheer. The way I would wear this, since it's really, really light and kind of filmy and gauzy, rather than folding it up and it really would lose a lot of its essence, I would take this, and this is a more dramatic look if you really want to show off the scarf, but it works with this one because the pattern itself is a little bit quiet. The colors are just more of neutrals. I would put it across the front, kind of drape it. Then take the back piece, wrap it around once, and then loosely tie it in the back. So you have this really nice drapey look in the front, and it's going to stay in place because it's tied in the back. This is another rayon look. I like this because it's bright, and even though it's a heavier fabric, it really does show up, you know, nicely if you're wearing it on a gloomy day. It's a long scarf. The way I would tie this one, you could do this in like a square knot. So what you would do for a square knot is have the length uneven. If you can see, I have this piece is longer. You're going to take the longer side and make just a square knot on, just like a square knot on the one side like this. And then you can take this other piece and put it through. It's kind of like if you were a Girl Scout or a Brownie. We used to do the ties this way. And if you can see, this is, and you can tighten this as well. It keeps it in place, and you can see more of the pattern. And it doesn't, again, it doesn't have to be even. It actually looks nicer if you have the ends at a different length. So let's take a look at this one. We haven't done a square yet. So this is a small square. So it's very thin. And then there are a couple ways you could wear this. Let me move her around a little bit closer. There are a couple ways you could wear this. You could tie it, take both ends in your hand, and then tie it around your neck. And then you can tie it. This is like a French or European way. Then tie the two ends in the front. Yeah, nice, Catherine. Yeah, thank you. And then you kind of can even this out, fluff it out a little bit. And the knot is in the center. This one is going to be tied on the side. And you can either have it lying flat like that, or if you tie it twice, you can kind of fluff it out. So it has a little spring to it, and you can see the ends that way. Kind of twist it around and tie it in the back. And this would be in place of a necklace. You twist it up a little more. Is this really fun orange zigzag, kind of like almost a Missoni pattern. So what I would do with this one is almost have it like an infinity scarf. So I would kind of wrap it, I would tie the ends, and then put the knot in the back, lay it down, and then double it. So yeah, and this works best with the chiffon style. This is a nature inspired scarf. So it has different kinds of leaves. It's very detailed with the leaves and acorns and things like that, nature inspired. Since this is something that I'd like to show off the pattern, I would do this in a square knot. So just the way I had done this earlier is tie a knot in one side and then pull the other side through and then kind of tighten it. And it lays flat like that. And also, I just want to mention, when anytime that you have a vertical line in your clothing, it's going to be flattering, and it actually helps you look, it makes you look slimmer, because what it does is it draws the eye up. It makes you look taller and slimmer just because of the illusion of the line going up and down. So whether it's a scarf, it could be a line of buttons on your jacket or your shirt. It could be a diagonal zipper on a moto style jacket. Whatever, anytime you have any kind of line like that in your clothing, it's going to be flattering. All right, so since we're in summer, what I did with this, and I did it before we got on the call, is I tied the ends. Let me just show you. I took the ends on each side and tied them together. So this is square, so it doesn't, you can do it either way. Tie them together, and it makes it, you can wear it like a pareo. So it has a little bit more shape to it than if you were just going to lay it over your shoulders. You can kind of, you can see, you can kind of put your arms in, and it's like a garment now. So don't be afraid to play around with these really large size scarves, you know, especially in the summer, especially one that's lightweight like this. I always have to have something animal print in these presentations. So this one is the animal print. The way I would wear this one, I would just do it very simply, either wrap it around, and then you could just do like a loose knot here and kind of hide that and pull it down. So it's loosely around your neck, but not, and it's not tight. And then you can see most of the pattern this way. It's like a chartreuse green, black, ivory, and like a bamboo brown kind of color. So it's a unique color combination, and it went perfectly with a sweater that I no longer have. But what I wanted to say about this is that, and it's oblong, but it's relatively small. So if I were going to wear this today, and either with that sweater or, you know, with something else, you could still make these longer scarves into like a necklace style. So what I would do is put it around my neck, hanging down like this. Take one end and just wrap it really, really tight. And this scarf is pretty thin. It would only work with one that's thin or, not one of the thicker ones. Wrap it really tight and then take the other side and do the same thing. But you can see how it turns into a necklace that way.